As the deadline for the player retention ahead of IPL 2022 wound down on Tuesday, a total of 27 players were retained by the 8 existing franchises. Overall, the franchises spent 269 crore rupees to hold on to these 27 players, which includes 19 Indians, 4 of them uncapped, and 8 foreigners. There were a few surprise picks and a few surprise omissions as well. But do remember that the omissions also can be due to players themselves deciding to come out of the team to get a better deal in the auction, like KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, Rashid Khan, Harshal Patel, etc. Let's check out the team-wise retention. Starting with Chennai Super Kings. The defending champions CSK have retained 4 players, and the order of selecting is important as that decides the price bracket for each player. Ravindra Jadeja was selected first with an amount of 16 crores. Dhoni took the second spot with a 12 crore retention price. Next came Moeen Ali, who was retained for 8 crores, and finally was last year's Orange Cap winner RUTURAJ GAEKWAD with 6 crores. Dhoni supposedly wanted to be retained 4th, but it can be that CSK think tanks plan to open up 12 crores for the next auction if Dhoni decides to retire after 2022 IPL. The major players released are Faf du Plessis, Dwayne Bravo, Deepak Chahar, Suresh Raina and Shardul Thakur. Mumbai Indians. The 5-time IPL winners retained 4 players too, and as expected, they retained Bumrah and Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma got the top prize money of 16 crores and Bumrah got 12 crores by being the second to be retained. Surya Kumar Yadav came next with an 8 crore deal, and the last retained player was the ever-dependable Mumbai Indian player KIERON Pollard, who was retained for 6 crores. The major players released are Hardik Pandya, Ishan Kishan, Trent Bolt and De Kock. Delhi Capitals. Delhi Capitals is easily one of the most proved sides in IPL in the last few years. They have a good think tank who try to select the best team of youngsters who are hungry to perform. They retained 4 players as well. The first player to be retained was Rishabh Pant, who got 16 crores, who will remain the captain of the team. Delhi tactically selected 1 spinner, 1 opener and a fast bowler by selecting Akshar Patel, Prithvi Shaw and Andrik Nokia. But instead of going by the standard amount brackets, they have bargained with the players and have settled for 9 crores for the second selected Akshar Patel, 7.5 for the third retained player Prithvi Shaw and 6.5 for the fourth retained player Andrik Nokia. It was a bit of a surprise that Shreyas Iyer wasn't retained by the team, but it looks like he himself asked to be relieved by the team to get a better opportunity, with many teams looking out for a young captain in their side. The major players released are Shreyas Iyer, Ashwin Ravichandran, Rabada and Stoinis. Kolkata Knight Riders. KKR also have retained 4 players, and this one was full of surprises. From the player retained to the player retention order, KKR also ended up saving some money by bargaining for different price points. The first player to be retained was Andre Russell. KKR bargained and is giving 12 crores to him. Venkatesh Iyer and VARUN Chakravarthy come next, and both have been retained by KKR for 8 crores each. And the fourth player to be retained was Sunil NARINE, who was retained for 6 crores. Knight Riders Chief Executive Officer Venki Mysore said that leaving out Shubman Gill was a tough choice, but the franchise felt Iyer and Chakravarthy possessed skills that are not easily found in the auction. They have spent only 34 crores of their salary cap of 42 crores for 4 players. Yet their purse for the auction is cut by 42 crores to 48 crores, just like Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai Indians or Delhi Capitals. The major players released are Owen Morgan, Dinesh Karthik, Shubman Gill and Lockie Ferguson. Rajasthan Royals. Rajasthan Royals have retained 3 players by selecting 2 Indian players and one overseas player. Eventually, the Royals decided to stick with Sanju Samson and Joss Butler, along with uncapped Indian batter Yashasvi Jaiswal, leaving them a healthy purse of 62 crore rupees. As Sanju Samson was the first player to be retained, he was retained for 14 crores. Next came Joss Butler, who was retained for 10 crores, and then the young and dynamic opener Yashasvi Jaiswal, who was retained for 4 crores. The major players released are Ben Stokes, Jofra Archer and Chris Morris. Royal Challengers Bangalore. RCB too have retained 3 players. The first player to be retained is VIRAT Kohli, who got 15 crores. But this is 2 crores less than what he got when RCB retained him ahead of the 2018 auction. Then comes Glenn Maxwell, who was retained for 11 crores. And the last player to be retained by RCB is MOHAMMED SIRAJ, who was retained for 7 crores. It came as a big surprise that SIRAJ was selected before Chahal, Devdutt Padikkal and Harshal Patel. The only thought was that these players might have expected a heftier deal, which they can get in the auctions. Sunrisers Hyderabad. Sunrisers Hyderabad have retained 3 players too, but there was a big surprise as they were unable to retain Rashid Khan. It seems Sunrisers was keen to retain Rashid Khan, but the spinner wanted a better deal, and SRH is planning to go all out and buy him back in the auctions. Apart from that, SRH has retained Kane Williamson, who will be the captain. He was retained first with a deal of 14 crores, and then SRH retained 2 uncapped players, Abdul Samad and Umran Malik, who they have retained for 4 crores each. The major players released are Rashid Khan, David Warner, Johnny Bairstow and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. Punjab Kings. Punjab Kings is the only team to have retained just 2 players ahead of the 2022 mega auction. PBKS captain KL Rahul, who had a superlative IPL 2021, decided to move out of the team, and this actually helped PBKS to get a bigger purse for the mega auction. They have retained the high-scoring Mayank Agarwal and the extremely talented fast bowler Arshdeep Singh. Mayank Agarwal was retained for 12 crores and the uncapped Arshdeep Singh got 4 crores. PBKS has the biggest purse coming into the mega auction when the current team is taken into consideration with 72 crores. The major players released are KL Rahul, Mohammad Shami and Ravi Bishnoi. How did the teams fare? What do you think? Do let us know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching and do take care.